My garden club goes on a tour each summer. Last year, one of the places we visited were the gardens of Rita and Jim Erickson at Paynesville. Rita and Jim have retired from owning the hosta shed, but their gardens are a perennial paradise. After getting to enjoy this beautiful area, I asked Rita if we could come and do a show for Prairie Yard and Garden so all of our viewers can share the beauty too, and she said yes. Thanks, Rita, for letting us come.
You're welcome. I'm glad you could come.
Now tell me, how did you get started?
Well, I've started gardening small. My father was a gardener, mostly vegetables, but I just love flowers. And so I got into flowers. My friends started collecting hostas, and so I got started collecting hostas too. And that's just grown from there. There was just one small little like 4x4 patch of garden, and then along a fence line, a 2-foot section, and then just back where the picket fence is, there was a few flowers there too.
So where did you start planting?
I started along the fence line and then in this back bed. So mostly it was all sunflowers. So I started with daylilies. I also have a passion for daylilies, so that's most of my flowers at that time were daylilies.
Would it be possible for us to go and see some of your sun plants?
Sure, let's go take a look. Mary, this is part of my sun gardens, and daylilies are part of my passion. This one I think is Desperado. There's one back here, it's a peach with a pink tint to it. I really like that one.
How in the world do you keep up with all of the weeding here?
Mulch. I get lots of mulch. I have big piles. I have people that, tree trimmers that dump up on top. A lot of they'll just ask me, do you have a place for them? And I said, just dump them up on top. And so we mulch fairly heavily.
How did you get the stepping stones in your paths here?
Well, my husband made some of the concrete ones, and these other ones I've just bought on sale. And then I just decide to try and find a focal point. The bird bath, of course, it's being hidden by the sedum right now, but that was a focal point.
How do you manage to mix the textures and the colors so beautifully?
Well, thank you. It just happens. I mean, I like the variegation. I love the variegation.
Have you intentionally planted the different daylilies to get a longer season of bloom?
Yes. Yes, that was one of my concerns, was that I wouldn't have enough color. But I do plant them, and as with all perennials, you plant different ones to extend your bloom time. So Mary, this is another one of the sun gardens, and it's right on our patio, and I have many different seasonal plants in here. I have, well, there's tulips in, and there's sedum for the fall, and there's asters down here, there's peonies, I have annuals, I have marigolds on the patio, and they seeded themselves this year just like that. It's like I didn't plant any of those, they're all from seed.
What are the beautiful blue and white flowers in the middle there?
Yeah, those are balloon flowers. They take deadheading to make them look nice. They tend to flop once in a while. I have a couple of cages around them, but they're beautiful. And here's a Jacob's Ladder. That's another spring, early summer bloomer. And I also have it in a variegated variety, which is really nice. I like it a lot. Over here, there's allium, also a spring bloomer, and it has a very interesting head when it's done blooming. Some people have taken them and spray painted them, and they, like for the 4th of July, they have them so they're like sparklers. On some of these, I've cut the stalk off, and I've just let them sit there for just, looks, texture, and then when they start to form the seeds, they're out of here. And Mary, this plant, when I bought it, the lady told me it was called a hard-leafed lamb's ear. Well, I've since found out that I believe it's called betony. And I had it just in the purple color, and it has started seeding. It will seed itself, and I have pink now too, and so I really like the pink. So I'll take and put the pink ones different places for more color and more texture.
Then for fall, are there specific plants that you like for fall color in here too?
I also have some asters over here, and there's actually some asters buried in here, which I cut some of these plants back so that you can see the asters when they start to bloom. And of course, the sedum has seeded itself so much here too, so it's going to have to partially go too. But it's very, very pretty in the fall.
Do you deadhead your daylilies after they're done?
Every day. I take the spent blooms off every day. They just, when they're on there, they just distract from the beauty of the plant. So, yes.
And then how far down do you cut the stalks?
Depending on how much time I have. I'll go clear to the bottom if I have a lot of time. If I'm just trying to tidy up, I'll just snip them below the green.
How did this come to be?
The gazing ball?
Yes.
My husband makes all the gazing balls. They're from a bowling ball, and he just sits and glues all the little beads. Throughout the garden, you'll find lots of gazing balls. He was actually selling them when we had the hosta shed. He would sell them, so that was how they came about.
How do you keep up with the watering?
Our watering system is out of the lake, which I think provides a lot of nutrients. Why a lot of my plants look pretty good is from the lake water. And when we moved here, a plumber owned the property, and he had a row of pine trees up the hill, and he had run water all the way up the hill. So we have a big pump across the lake, and it pumps water all the way up the hill.